Hello EOMasters. Recently I have released the EOMTBX, the EOMasters Toolbox. And today I want to give you an introduction and show you the features which are included in this first version. Because this toolbox is intended to support you, I would like to hear your ideas and thoughts how the toolbox could evolve in the future. Write it in the comments and I would be happy if you give this video a like. The band math has been extended by several functions and attributes. So let's have a look what has changed or what was added. You can now select a band and say dot valid, and as you here see, it's a valid expression. This will consider the no data value, the valid expression, and none values or infinity. But you can also for example, the UTM coordinates. Before it was possible to get the pixel coordinate and the latitude longitude, but now you can also access the map values. There are also new functions. They show up here in the functions list, for example, are valid. Then we have here max off, mean off, and min off. And we have the window functions. So let's start with the rvalid. This is valid, and you can enter several bands, capital B, but they must all be of the same size, so I can't enter here B1 because there's a lower resolution. So the max off, there you can also enter several bands and you will get the maximum value of them. The same for minimum and mean, and all those functions consider none values. They are only computed for valid pixels. The window functions let you calculate the sum, the minimum, the max, the mean, and the median for a band for a window size of 3, 5, or 7. So you can specify window on B1 and with a size of 5, and then I want to get, let's say, the mean. So, and let's start the computation, go, and then you get the band. It takes a bit till it shows up. Window operations are always a bit compute intense. So here it starts to show up. Let's have a look, compare it with the original one. Even this takes a bit. So here it is, and if we zoom in, you see the edges are smoother. Another feature which can shortcut your work is the quick menu. You have it in the center of the main menu, and for example, instead of going all the way from radar to interferometric filtering, spectral filtering, range filtering, I can just go to the quick menu and select the range filtering. Another feature to shortcut your daily work is the Wavelength Editor. You can find it in the optical menu or in the context menu of a product, modify wavelengths. Here you can edit the wavelengths. Let's say I set this here to 500 and then OK. Here you have the 500. But not only this, if you have multiple products open and you modify wavelengths, for example, let me change also this one. So you have the option to select other compatible products. So then we can say apply this. Okay. And let's have a look at the other product. And here we have our changed wavelengths. If you use GPT in batch mode for multiple products, you know that every time for each processing, the JVM needs to be started and stopped, and this takes several seconds for each product you process. This is in most cases not very important because the processing takes quite a long time. But if you have short processings, then it's a considerable portion of the processing. For this case, you can use loop GPT. There you can collect all your commands in one commands.txt file and then say loop GPT shall execute those commands. The commands within look similar to those to GPT, but without the GPT executable in front of it. I don't go into details right here now. If you like, have a closer look to the help. There's another tiny but helpful feature, which is that you can close all products without an associated view. So, okay, and now this one is closed. And there's more, which becomes helpful when you have an issue with Snap or with one of the tools of the EOMasters Toolbox. You can go to Help and say Create System Report. This creates the necessary information for the developers to investigate the issue you have and hopefully solve it. So you can either export it to a file or to the clipboard and then use it in the Snap forum, in a mail or whatever. The other helper is the error handler, and I hope you will never see it because it only appears in the case of an error. So that's why I can't show you this one in action, but it is described in the help. And it's pretty similar to the system report, but beside it also includes the stack trace information of the exception occurred. It allows you to send the report directly to me via email, or you can post it in the EOMasters forum. If you choose to send the report by mail, you are prompted to acknowledge the terms of service and the privacy policy of the sharing service which is used to upload the file and include a link to it in the email, which is automatically generated for you. At last, I want to show you also how you can get the toolbox. You simply go to Tools, Plugins, to Available Plugins. Make sure that you check for the newest plugins, and then you can select the EOMTBX here, select and click Install, and then proceed as usual. And after a restart, you can use all the features I showed you. And that's it for the first version. I hope you like it. What would you like to see in one of the next versions in the EOMasters Toolbox? Let me know in the comments. Tschüss and goodbye.